everyone, Amanda here. Thanks for joining me. So I'm in the middle of doing a travel journal. I'm a little bit behind, but don't say anything. Oops. And so I've got all of my signatures ready, and now I'm just finishing making up some ephemera. So I'm making some vintage maps. So I need to make this digital print look like a genuine vintage map. So I thought I'd bring you along for the journey. So the first thing I'm going to do, so I've printed this. I've used the Graphics Fairy subscription site for this. They've got just about everything you need on there. You can get them other places. I'm sure that if you can't afford a subscription for somewhere, that if you look on Pinterest you'll find some sort of old map. Any will do, don't matter. Okay. I mean, I've got these which are Atlas, so I could probably do it with these, but I'd probably need to tea dye them first to mute down some of that colour. These are already kind of got that nice muted background. So then on the back I've used an Artimaze. This is an Artimaze one that I like to use because it's this coffee dye, and it's got this lovely like watermark effect there. So I'd rather print it than use my beloved tea dyed paper, because it takes me forever to tea dye paper. So if you're wondering why I haven't just printed straight onto there, that's why. Because I like to save that for plain journal pages or for stenciling on, not for printing. Okay. Because like I say, it takes me ages to, you know, it can take a good while to coffee dye and tea dye paper. And in the winter, you know, you've got it hanging around your house if you want to do it, and it doesn't smell the best, does it? You know, I don't have like a conservatory or a shed or anywhere outside where I could put it. So, and it does absolutely reeks, and it makes your house stink to high heaven. So yeah, right, so I'm just distressing the edge here. I don't use fancy distress tools because I find them a bit pants. I'd rather just use my scissors. You've just got to be careful you don't cut your arm off, because you need to really, although you can manage with none. I've seen that artists paint with the feet. So distressed, and then I'm just gonna, maybe I might rip one corner off so that it looks like it's been a bit, you know, worse for wear. I maybe just rip a bit off the bottom of one. Yeah, and then I'm going to fold it. So this is an A4, so what I did, I have actually scored it so that I get it in a nice fold to start with. So I've scored, put it on my scoreboard, and I've done 4 inches then 8 inches, and then it gives me that nice kind of letter fold because I want to slip it in a pocket or something like that. Right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some more folds to make it look like somebody's had it in the back pocket maybe. Yeah. Because you know, when you've got your maps and you end up sticking them in your back pocket, you don't think about saving them forever and a day, do you? So then I'm going to use good old vintage photo, and I'm going to put plenty on and be quite rough around the edges there where I've done it with the scissors. If I be quite rough with my distress tool, it kind of rolls it, if you look, which is even better. You could put water splashes and coffee rings, you can, you know, but I think that's a bit going a bit overkill. We can keep it pretty simple and still have it looking good. So where I'm being quite, you know, vigorous with my distress ink tool, it's then rolling up round the edge. Can you see how it's rolling the edges of the paper where I've distressed it with the edge of my scissors? So that's a good tip. Alright, all the way around. I mean, people who've been making their own fake vintage ephemera for years won't be learning anything new, but there's always new people all the time joining my channel, and I love to try and encourage new crafters as much as I can because I just think it's wonderful. It's good for you and it stops you shouting at fruit in Asda. So I've had a lovely day today. I've been and met a lovely lady who actually only lives around the corner from me and is a crafter. So hi Fee, if you're listening, that were you. And bless her, she gave me some vintage encyclopedias. So I'm going to be having a right good look through them and see if I can maybe scan some images in, because I think it's out of, I believe they're nearly 100 years old, so I think they'll be out of copyright. But I'm going to do some checking on the internet first. Right, so, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the other way, and I'm inking the folds that way as well. Okay. So that it really does look like it's been folded up and left for a while. Okay, I'm just gonna scrunch it a bit, not too much because I don't want to wreck it, but you know, just to scrunch it a bit, just to break them fibres up and make it look a little bit weathered. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, we'll do it here, I'm going to fold that corner over like that, both ways, and we'll ink that, so then it'll look like it's been folded over. Ooh, I'm in wrong job, me. I should have worked in war, like counterfeiting passports and stuff. Right, so then I'm just going to just go like that, so that it looks like it's kind of been folded, and then just got a bit dirty, so it's got wrinkled up. We'll do a bit here as well. So I'm just kind of creasing it in all kind of weird ways to make it look a bit worn and a bit creased. Let's just crease that up. Add a bit of distress ink and then flatten it back out. Do it with this one as well. Just crunch it up, and then where it's crunched, just lightly add ink, and then fold it back out again. Okay. I'm just going to do that. Okay, so we're starting to look old now. And this is actually a map of Europe. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do some fake rips. So where I've folded it there, I'm going to tear it just along there and maybe along here. Okay. Then where you've torn it, you don't want that nice fresh white to show, so ink that backwards and forwards so that it gets right in the fibres. Okay. And then because it's an old map, whoever had it will have looked after it, because, you know, way back when people did try their best to look after stuff. You know, you didn't just throw stuff in the bin. Yeah, it was not right thing to do. So what I'm going to do now is just make some. I've got a little bit there, but I want to make another one. So I've got some just regular sellotape, and I've got a little plastic wallet thing here. So I'm just going to put some tape on that, trim it off. Then I've sacrificed one of my new daubers, and that will stay in the top corner of my dauber box, and it will be forever and a day my alcohol ink dauber for this, which is caramel. It's a Ranger one, but it's caramel. So I'm going to dab that on. I think the felt tools are probably better for alcohol ink, but this will do. It'll do, just keep dabbing it on till you get the colour you like. Come on, you slippery little sucker. There we go. And cover all of that. Try not to get it on your hands, because it really is a nightmare to get off. I got it on my hands last week, and I had to put my hands in bleach to get it off. It's horrible stuff to get off your hands. And of course, with it being brown, it looked like I'd just smoked a full pack of Park Drive or something. Just going to put a bit more on. But this caramel colour, I thought if I got like any old brown or vintage photo, it would look good. But actually this caramel one is the most recommended for making vintage style tape, apparently. So rather than buying 10 million different colours and trying them all, I took heed from what somebody else had done, saved myself the time and energy, and just went and bought that, and they were quite right. It's the perfect colour. Now I'm just going to waft that about a bit, which is a very technical procedure. And then that should be dry enough so that it won't go on my hands now. And then just peel it off my plastic. I'm going to cut it in half. Yeah. And then I'm going to, this bit might be fiddly, but I'm going to cut it into narrower strips. Okay. Alrighty. So then I'm going to put one. Now don't get all twisty. Yeah, slippery little sucker. One there. Two, because you know I'm repairing my map. And one up here. Oh, it's got twisty. Oh yes, sucker. Hold on, let me see if I can. There we go. And one up there. Don't actually need that much. Let me just tuck it around. And then I'm going to just trim it. So I don't want loads. Trim it there. So that then makes it look even more aged. Then somewhere, one of my crafty friends, Karen, sent me just a few of these. I love them. I need to get some more little vintage paper clips. So when it goes in my journal, I'm going to fold it like so, and it'll go in a pocket. So I'm just going to put this little clip here on the front, and then I may well add just a little ticket or something on there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look in my oddments. I'm not quite sure what. That's interesting, isn't it? Let me see if I can. If I can't find something really quick, we'll just leave it as it is for now. Because oh, tickets. Because I'm doing a travel journal, aren't I? So I could add some tickets. Yeah. What's these? Are these bus tickets? Yes, they're bus tickets. We'll have them. Buzzing. So this is a map of, what's this? Europe. So let's give this a bit of an ink. And then maybe they're having a wander around, going on a bus tour. It might even be a big red bus like you get in cities. You haven't lived if you haven't been on a big red bus tour in even New York. I've been on one in New York. New York, Rome. Where else have I been in one? London. Oh, all over. Big red buses. Cost you a fortune, but it's actually quite fun. I love the American ones. I like the way that the bus they have like people sat on, like telling you about the history of the buildings, and the American ones always make me laugh how they get so excited over the buildings, because the school that I went to here in England predates the entire country. new world country, whatever you want to call it, of America. So when they get really excited over history, we're like, oh bless. Bless you. Bless you, love. I've got shoes that are older than that house. but it is lovely. I love it. New York's my favourite. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, I'm waffling. Don't even know why I'm talking about that. So there we go. There is my vintage, hand vintaged fake map. So that one's Europe. This one is London, and this one's going to fold like so. Okay, and then they will be going in my travel journal. So there you go, a little bit of a crafting and a little bit of waffle. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope maybe it helps inspire you in your counterfeit goods, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.